Hand of Fate. If you're watching this, then you know that there's a lot going on here. Cards, dungeon crawling, text adventures. What is this? Well, to be frank, it's one of the coolest games I've played in a long time. So, Hand of Fate is a deck-building, dungeon-crawling roguelike with visual novel elements and Arkham-style combat with a narrator constantly reading out everything you do. See? Hard to explain. So let's go into further detail. You arrive at this dealer's realm at the end of the world. He has you play a game of life and death, as he puts it. At the beginning of every round, you build 2 decks with 2 main types of cards: equipment and encounters. Once you've built them, the dealer adds a few cards of his own, shuffles the deck, and deals it in the coolest way possible.
Now we play for the cup, the first of my symbols. I've added some...
And then the game begins. A small dungeon is built out of the encounter cards, and really anything could happen here. A run-in with bandits, a maiden who offers you a prize, a weapon shop, or, if you're unlucky, falling rocks. For the combat-based encounters, you fight enemies in this Arkham Asylum kind of system. You attack, counter, dodge, stun, you get the idea. I'm a big fan of the system, and while I think too many games may be using it, it still works pretty well here, so it gets the job done. A lot of these encounters yield rewards, which is where the equipment cards come in. They range from weapons and armor to basic stuff like food or health. See, at a glance, you're playing this short dungeon crawler, but you have ways of stacking the deck in your favor. There's an element of randomness, but you have ways of countering that randomness by throwing in whatever encounters or equipment you think you may need before the game starts. But it doesn't go too far off the easy end, as some of the more dangerous cards are either locked in before the deck building process, or added in by the dealer right before he deals. Oh, and can we talk about this dealer? He has this great aura of mystique surrounding him, claiming that he will destroy you while also being somewhat friendly. He loses his cool every now and then, but overall, he's a very interesting character, and he sometimes has some funny quips here and there if you rely on certain crutches too much.
It amuses me to watch them theorize, to attempt to discern the very likeness of the gods down to their toes.
So, you got all that? A deck-building dungeon crawler with Arkham combat and choose-your-own-adventure dialogue and an interesting, questionably reliable narrator. Sounds like a lot. Take a deep breath. It is. But it meshes together so well. There's a lot of weird, kooky ideas getting mixed in Hand of Fate, but they're mixed together very carefully. If you look at each of the individual elements, they're each pretty simple. The dungeon crawling has this crude Akalabeth vibe to it, the cards are easy to learn, the combat is the same simple Arkham Asylum combat we're all used to, but this guy, this mysterious dealer who throws it all together, is the one that makes it all work. You're well aware at all times that this is just a game, but there's always a person on the other side of the table. A worthy opponent who constantly tries and sometimes succeeds to one-up you. A dungeon master, toying with you and using these gamey mechanics to explore your past and who you really are as a character. And it definitely doesn't hurt that the game is addictive as all hell. The encounters are all very short, and the games themselves are also all very short. Kinda like poker or another short card game like that. You can't just stop at one game. It's weird, but it's also one of my favorite games in a long while. It takes all these weird elements, simplifies them a little bit, and throws them all together for an experience that is strangely addictive, with interesting characterization, and with the coolest presentation I think I've seen in a long time. If you've been needing a good game to play in short bursts, or even in longer bursts, then this is definitely it. May the cards be in your favor.